You are now listening to the Warp World Podcast. Boom shakalaka.
Welcome, everybody, to the Warp World Podcast. This is episode 113.
Wolf-free.
A wolf-free episode. Yes, this is a very, very special episode. Because for the first time in a long time, we have everyone here together who's actually on this podcast, and just us. You know, we don't even have a guest this week. It's just us guys. So joining me this week, of course, we have Xwater.
That's correct.
And Jakku.
Hey, that's me.
Fresh back from Tokyo too, as well.
Yeah, super fresh.
Yeah, no idea. Jakku has no idea what time it actually is in the world right now, so we're just happy he made it.
Yeah, as far as I know, it's H.
Is that Jakku standard time?
Who knows? I don't even know this time.
Well, it was funny because we have a joke called Jakku Standard Time, which is basically just a way to say Chicago time or wherever Jakku's currently at. And but JST is actually Japan Standard Time.
Yeah.
So he was actually in JST this week, and this joke's only funny to us, but we really appreciated that.
Yeah.
Well, and we'll talk about Tokyo here in a bit, but boys, gentlemen, and all the ladies out there listening, the gentlemen here, but the ladies out there listening too. Yeah, what's up, girls?
How you doing?
It's a big how you living?
How you living?
It's a big week this week because it's the week of TwitchCon.
TwitchCon.
I will say, out of the, I am a known hater of big conventions, but of the big conventions, this one's easily my favorite. So I think, like, first of all, like, what are you guys most looking forward to at TwitchCon this year?
Xwater?
The booth, honestly.
Sure.
Yeah, we got we doubled up this year. Last year we were a 10 by 10. This year we're a 20 by 10. So moving up in the world, pretty cool. No, it's we spend most of our time there, but it's awesome because, like, it's home base for anybody who's usually part of the Mario communities or part of, like, the Warp World community. So that's always actually just like a sweet time. It's like a place people know where they can find us, hang out, and it's just fun.
Yeah, it's actually a really relaxing time. Like, yeah, you said, like, we're there a lot, but, like, you go there and you're just relaxing, you're hanging out with friends, and you get to see so many people because it's a great meeting place. And it's very easy to find because we typically stick out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we do stick out. We're kind of, I mean, if our booth goes anything like last year, I do have a feeling though someone might bite our style from last year.
Maybe.
I wouldn't be too shocked if that happened. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you've ever been to, like, a convention with a lot of tech companies or video game companies, I don't want to say they all look the same,
But they do, though.
They kind of all look the same.
You got a black
in
wall, a couple of, like, really sleek white desks with a couple flyers on it. You know, it's a cookie cutter format for any, like, 10 by 10, 10 by 20 booth.
Well, a lot of the 10 by 10s, they just get what's given to them. They get, like, a little
box.
Table thing, a few chairs, and a box. Yeah. And so, like, it's cheap because it's included, and booths can get expensive.
They're ours ain't cheap.
No, yeah, it's not cheap, but I mean, it's definitely cheap compared to the larger ones. But yeah, like, you're gonna see a lot of similar ones just because of that. But at the same time, like, if you have an awesome product and stuff, you really want to, like, be different from the others because everyone else is gonna have that same awesome product. Almost no idea is original except for all of ours. Everyone always copies us.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, you want to stand out. And so, yeah, I think you're right, Pooh. We might see like a grandmother's basement this year. That's not ours.
I actually really think we're going to see another grandmother's basement this year. But lucky for us, we're already ahead of the game.
Yeah.
We moved on.
Yeah,
can't do the same thing twice.
We moved out of that basement.
Yeah, we moved out of that basement. I don't want to give away any spoilers because I think we've kind of decided that the theme every year for TwitchCon is going to be kind of something exciting and new. We want for people to come visit the Warp World booth.
Yeah.
So I don't want to give any spoilers, but I will say we've definitely moved out of the dark depths of the basement and into a bit more sun, a bit more sunny of an atmosphere. So
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair to say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's all fair to say. We also have some like incredible humans, streamers coming
Potentially
to visit
humans.
the booth.
Yep.
Potentially, some of them are humans. Coming to visit the booth and do some crowd control and Mario Maker viewer levels. Actually, this is what's best. You can actually do a live Mario Maker viewer level with some of our streamers there.
Yeah.
But we have we're showing off both crowd control. We're showing off Warp World there. Maybe some other product that might be launching then. I don't know.
If we can remember it.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you did there. I
Nice.
see what you did there.
Yeah.
I see what you did there.
Glad you did.
You guys will get that joke after at the next episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you'll get that joke. So there's going to be some exciting things we have going on there, but we have like Simple Flips is coming through.
Mm-hmm.
I heard Auth and Skybills are rolling through.
Fiend and
yeah.
Fef as well.
Fiend and Pfeff are rolling through, like all these official like moments. I'm kind of bummed because Simple Flips is happening during my meet and greet on Friday. So my meet and greet's at 10:30.
Oh, they got
and
you
he's going to be
bright
playing
and
the
early
World.
first day, huh?
They put me with Dr. Lupo and Tim the Tapman, who are the biggest streamers now that Ninja left. So it's, you know, I'm kind of a big deal.
They put you next to Ninja last year. You were already a big deal.
Yeah,
I know.
that's true.
Last year I was between Ninja and Tfue.
Yeah.
Like which was just like very humbling with Ninja and Tfue's line. Like I had a packed line. I had a huge line last year, and their lines were stupid large. You know? I don't think I'm gonna be able to pack as many people in at 10:30.
It's hard because it's the first day too, so like people are still getting badges.
Badges, yeah.
People
I'm
are just
actually
trying to
gonna be
get in for the
talking-
first while.
I'll be talking at Dev Day during that time.
So
So
how am I gonna pad my line?
we're all busy. Like we all got sort of stuff.
I need some way to pad my line, man. I'm so like worried about this line now. I don't want like I have an hour and a half, and my biggest fear at any meet and greet I've ever done is that there's no one in line for like
just sitting
an
there with
hour.
like nothing going on.
Yeah, so if I have a short line, there's going to be a lot of greeting.
Oh yeah,
A lot of greeting.
Really draw out those couple until it starts to fill up, and then be like, "All right, we got to keep this moving, guys. Come on."
Yeah, a lot of greeting.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, TwitchCon is going to be wild. We have not only that, I'm going to be playing at the Alienware booth, and then we're going to be doing crowd control Dark Souls with Lobos Jr. At the Alienware booth on Saturday, which is going to be really, really fun.
Might have something else to release during that time too.
Ooh,
Secrets, more secrets.
You know what's awkward is I don't even know what secret you're talking about right now. So
You're familiar with it, but yeah, I'll tell you later. But you're familiar with it, you just don't know.
I'm familiar with it. I just don't know. We got, but we're really excited to like bring crowd control to another booth. We're also gonna have it set up for that one where they can use their phones too, so people can just cruise by and use their phones to fuck with him. So, you know, it's part of your TwitchCon experience. You can go fuck with Lobos Jr. and Dark Souls and Simple Flips and 64 and Fiend and Pfeff and, well, I guess Fiend's doing Maker, isn't she?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. But Auth and Sky, you can fuck with all these people for free on the TwitchCon booth or at our TwitchCon booth and on the TwitchCon floor. We're stupid excited for TwitchCon. What are some of your guys' favorite TwitchCon memories?
I still, you go ahead.
Okay, the first year that most of us went, we stayed in that Airbnb, and it was just a fun time having everybody there. And like a lot of us still weren't partnered. You were like one of the only partners in the group, and it was just like everyone's first time meeting for the most part. And like we had Mario, we had the Mario finals there, part of Makers of Mario, and that was really cool.
Oh yeah, yeah. We did have the oh man, that was a long time ago. The Mario Maker Monday finals were there. Yeah, that was actually hype. I wasn't even thinking about that as my favorite memory, but that might be my favorite memory is being on the main Kappa stage.
Yeah.
commentating the Mario Maker Monday finals to a relatively less packed house than it was for the keynote speech.
Yeah.
But a moderately sized crowd.
Yeah, no, and it was cool. And it was that was only the second TwitchCon, so like the turnout and stuff, like it was really good for that.
Yeah. Xwater, what's yours?
I really liked the next year. I think just everything that happened on any of the days, like any of the parties that year, the 2017, because the 2016 one, I was like staying in a hostel and I didn't know you guys super well at that point yet. Like we weren't all as close as we are now, right? And I didn't know a lot of the Mario people that well, because that was when I was still being a stubborn, like, I'm gonna be a variety streamer.
That was back when our relationship was based on lies, Xwater.
Yeah. Not anymore, though, right? No, I really enjoyed 2017 and all the really fun times. Like, I remember leaving that year being like, dude, that was the best vacation ever. Because it was topped off with the first MMC, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was topped off with the first MMC.
Yeah.
That was the next year at Long Beach. Yeah, that one was good. That one was a good one. The partner party that year, like the pre-party, where we all that was a really fun time. That was we were all on Andy Milanakis' stream.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is really funny because now Andy Milanakis is a sub of mine. And I play that clip every time he comes in, I drop that clip now. I'm like, yo, you offered to suck my dick, dude.
TwitchCon 2019.
Get it on, Andy.
Make it happen.
Yeah, so that's really funny. Yeah, TwitchCon's just a really cool spot. It definitely is like a crossover event at this point. I would say like it has mainstream appeal. There's kind of always like celebrities around. I remember running into Ronald Funches there one time. Snoop Dogg's been around. Shaq's been around. Like the concert this year, the party is like serious. It's got Blink-182 and Lil Nas X. Like that's legit, you know, like that's like a legit show.
Yeah, I'm glad they added more artists because now it's got like something literally for everybody now.
Yeah, it's definitely like it's covering a variety of music that is probably popular on Twitch. You know?
Yeah.
The last time we did the party at San Diego, it was literally on the baseball field, and TwitchCon was a lot smaller back then. Definitely didn't sell out like it did this year, but it was on the baseball field at Petco Park in San Diego, and we were like in the outfield. And like if you guys have ever got to step on a professional baseball field or like football field, the grass is so amazingly pristine, and all of us took off our shoes and danced to T-Pain and Steve Aoki. Which was super fun, but then Darude came out and didn't play Sandstorm, which I'm sorry, Darude, you're there for one goddamn reason, man.
I didn't even think he had other songs,
right? Oh. Anyway, moving on. Well, I mean, is there anything else we want to talk about TwitchCon? It's fun.
It's fun. You should go.
Tiring,
but
yeah, it's fun.
Tickets are pretty much sold out, so good luck.
Yeah, I think there's single day tickets still available for some of them, but the 3 days and the party are all sold out at this point.
It's getting a little excessive. I'm trying to think of like what could a sellout mean at the San Diego Convention Center that holds Comic-Con? Like, what does that mean at that particular? Like, I'm nervous about that. Like, that seems like it might be a bit excessive. That's all I'm. It's going to be vastly different than TwitchCon was 3 years ago at the same venue.
Yeah, I almost wonder if it's just Twitch capping it at a certain level.
Yeah, that's probably it.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad at that.
You
know?
Same.
I mean, people complain about lines and stuff, but like you have to cut it off at some point. Otherwise, you're only going to complain about lines. So
I got to say,
makes sense.
I'm excited. I don't have any like plane ride distance trips planned for the rest of the year after this, and that gets me excited. I'm like, oh, it's been a busy summer. We've been all around, man. I'm tired just thinking about it.
I don't either, except I did get hit up by some of our friends at ESA about a potential event in November.
Oh yeah.
And so like I might fly back out to Sweden. Which, you know what? That's in November. That gives me the entire month of October to not fly anywhere.
Yeah. I got one the week after TwitchCon. Literally the next weekend, I have something going on.
Sure.
But then I actually canceled a big event I've been planning with Red Bull all year, and I canceled it because I was just like, I'm done.
Oh, that one got canceled.
I am not doing the November one we were talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pushing it to April or March. Pushing it to March or April. Yeah. It was just sorry, chat. This is top secret. This is top secret stuff. So, but yeah, I'm spent. I am spent this year.
Sure.
Like, this year has been crazy for us. It's good. It's like amazing that we've all had so many incredible opportunities both together and on our own, and as Warp World as a whole. And but I think some time home is going to be good for all of us.
Yeah.
Especially you, man. You've got, fresh kid. He's getting what, like 8 months now?
8 months, yeah. 8.5 months, and it's really wild because, like, especially now he's getting to that point. Like, when I left from MSC, when I came back from MSC, he was like a completely different fucking kid. He started waving and stuff, which that's not. I mean, like, he just. I don't know. It's just like, it's so wild. He started standing on his own and all that stuff.
So
like,
great.
Yeah, all that stuff is like, with like no help. You know what I mean? It's just wild. Yeah, and like all that stuff is, what do I want to say? Like, when you hear someone else talk about it, it's like, if someone else talked about their kid with that shit, I'd be like, so the fuck what, man? But like, when it's your kid, I don't know. It really does hit you. You want to be there for those moments because he's just like a completely different human every time I come back home from, especially the long trips. And so the good news is that he never forgets about me, and he gets really excited whenever I walk through the door. So
nice.
That's the one.
That's got to be like one of those creeping thoughts in the back of your head each time you go out. It's like, shit, is he gonna be like, who's this dude?
yeah. Well, I just worry. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? I worry, but at the same time, like, I want to do it now when he's young and doesn't remember, rather than do it when he's old and will resent me for it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Right now, only my wife will resent me for all the traveling I'm doing. So it's
part
totally
of the job.
okay.
It's part of the job.
Yeah, she's stuck with me. So
yeah, you got a kid now.
Yeah, she's stuck. Let's talk about Jakku, though. Your travels. You were in Tokyo.
Yeah.
The Tokyo Game Show. Some crazy things went down there as far as crowd control is concerned. Like, talk us through some of this. Like, tell us, just give us the overall story.
I guess let's start back at E3. To set the stage. Myself and
set the stage. Yeah.
Myself and Xwater, along with the Wolf Tofu. We met with Ben, who is basically our agent right now. He told us, like, hey, I like crowd control. This stuff's really cool. I think I have some opportunities for you guys. And he got us in contact with Art Play to basically add crowd control to Bloodstained for this event. And we don't have much to share on that past the event, but essentially he's like, I will get Iga to play Bloodstained with crowd control at Tokyo Game Show. And we're like, this sounds amazing. And so, over the last few weeks and months, we got access to do that. We actually integrated it directly into the game and was able to show it off at TGS and at the Bit Summit Roadshow in Tokyo this year. And it was just insane to think that we went from, messing around with games to actually getting access to the game to do it ourselves. And then to have, Iga himself play. I think a lot of us fanboyed about that.
Yeah.
Like, Castlevania Symphony of the Night was a game. That's a lot. No, it was a game that many of us played, and it changed the Castlevania series for the best. And like, I grew up playing that game so much. It was one of the first PlayStation games I bought, and it was just like, holy crap, this is happening. So that was like the main reason for going to TGS. For myself and Saturn, he was there for support. I was there for support. Make sure everything went well. We had setups. We went through all the stuff with the people there, but it went very well. They were really happy with it. It was really exciting to see. We got some videos. It was live streamed on the Bit Summit channel. We had some crazy stuff that we had to do. Actually, turns out the Bit Summit channel, why partnered, doesn't have subscriptions or bit support, and crowd control extension only works if you have bit support. We found that out Thursday. The event was Friday. Oh no, sorry. We found that out Wednesday in Japan. Thursday. So days are odd, but essentially found that out Wednesday. And I went to bed. But before I went to bed that night, I sent an email to Twitch and a few team members. And I'm like, hey, this is a long shot, but we have an event in 16 hours. We need this extension approved. And so we have a crowd control bloodstained extension that's only available on that Bit Summit channel right now. That doesn't require bits. Twitch was able to, luckily the time zones worked out. So when I was going to bed, other people were waking up. But within 8 hours, we had it up and running. That's something that we would not have had a year ago, with Twitch. So that was just like, that shows that we made it really far, being able to tell Twitch, hey, we really need help with this right now, and you're the only guys that can do it. And for them to jump on that was really great. I didn't even get to tell you guys that because like we were going crazy on what we had to do. But Tokyo Game Show was insane. We only went for exhibitor day, the first 2 days, and it was fairly packed, but not like super packed. But we saw screenshots of the crowds the next 2 days. They were wrapping around the building. And these are big buildings. Like last year, 300,000 people attended.
So like dwarfed E3 then.
Yeah. It was.
That's insane.
Yeah. So like if you ever go to Tokyo Game Show, do not go get in the industry first. Don't go as just as a person that loves games.
That is an insane amount of humans, you know?
Yeah. We we didn't go for many things. Like we walked around the show floor. It was like 3. I guess it's like about the double size of TwitchCon.
Okay.
For booths. And we walked around, we looked at a lot of stuff. There's some swag. Not a whole lot though. More bags than anything. Kind of similar to E3 in that regard. But me and Saturn, we found the Square Enix booth, which, they were hyping up Final Fantasy VII and stuff. But off to the side, they had Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles to play.
Hey.
And that was only like a 20-minute wait, which was great. And what's really
that's not a good sign though.
Well, it literally was like on the other side of the booth, off into like this corner. So it was very much like kind of hidden away, which kind of sucks
Crystal
for it.
Chronicles.
Yeah,
but
I'm sure Crystal Chronicles isn't like a big ticket item, but I'm excited for it.
Yeah. Well, so what's really cool about it is myself and Saturn. I've known Saturn since like 2nd grade or something stupid like that. Me and him, along with 2 other friends in Michigan, we played Crystal Chronicles, but we played the Japanese version, which came out a few months before the American one. So it was like a full circle experience for us to play the new one in Japanese first again.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was really kind of like, oh, this is really crazy. Like 20 years ago we were doing, but like 16 years ago we were doing this, and here we are doing it again in Tokyo. And the game's coming out on Switch, PS4, iOS, and Android, and they're all cross-play.
Whoa, and iOS and Android as well?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So you can play it on your iPhone or your Android, and you can play it on your Switch or on your PS4, and like anyone can play. It's really kind of cool that they went that route.
Man, Fortnite like spoiled me because I can't stand that some games are not crossplay,
right?
Like full crossplay anymore. Like it drives me insane that, if like Borderlands 3, like if you have a buddy that bought it on PlayStation, I can't play with them.
That does suck.
It sucks, dude.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sucks. Like
the new Call of Duty. New Call of Duty's crossplay.
Is it?
Yeah.
Which one?
Good for them.
The one that just came out.
I had no idea there was a new Call of Duty out.
Yeah.
Yo, good for them, dude.
Yeah.
Like, that's really awesome.
I saw a screenshot. It tells you like when you're in the match, it has a mouse and keyboard or a towering keyboard for PC, and like Xbox logo and
That's
PS4
cool.
logo.
That's really cool.
You can you look at the leaderboard though, and it's everyone with a mouse is up top.
Yeah, I bet.
But
aim assist can only get you so far.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess just TGS was a huge experience. We managed to snag some meetings with some other companies. Some really exciting stuff. Xwater was on the team call on Tuesday. Pooh, you missed it. I have to fill you in next week.
Yeah, I'm a horrible human.
No, you had things. We're busy. But like it will blow your mind. Or to blow.
Yeah.
I love getting blown. So
yeah, absolutely.
I'm really excited about that. But could you name any of the cool meetings? Are we allowed to say anything? Could you just give a hot moment here?
I can't. I can tell you one name of the person. One first name. Guy's name was Yoshi.
Oh, well, I mean, obviously that's just important on its own.
Yeah, obviously there's lots of Yoshis in Japan, but this one was not a green dinosaur.
He didn't get dumped in a pit after the conversation.
Yeah. I like that our lawyer in the chat is like, no, you can't say anything. And I think I can say Yoshi because
it was for the podcast.
Yeah,
man.
It's for the podcast, lawyer.
I knew he couldn't say anything either. I just had to ask. I had to do the thing where we ask and pretend like we were going to give some information, but we really didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now the illusion is ruined.
Yeah, we're cut that out.
I know. It's called drama. It's called heightening the drama. This is content, entertainment.
We got plenty of drama coming up.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for that. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, but no. So TGS overall was just huge. I hope more things to share, obviously, in the future. This was just the start, obviously. We will most likely be attending Bit Summit in May.
Ooh.
I definitely will be there. I actually may try to just go to Japan for the entire month. We'll see.
Yeah, I found vacation for a couple weeks and
yeah, like get there, not fly in and instantly get to work, sort of thing. And just kind of hang out. We stayed in an Airbnb and it was actually so much nicer than a hotel. It was cheaper, but we had actual bedrooms. We had space. It was 10 out of 10. And I found
was it like sizable enough?
For two people. Yeah. Maybe you could probably have had a third in there.
Cool.
I found a really sweet Airbnb in Kyoto for $10,000 a month. It has its own Zen garden and like pond with koi fish in it. So, and it had like 16 rooms. So, Warp World going to Bit Summit.
That would be baller.
I'm all about a koi pond, dude.
Right?
Like they had koi ponds everywhere in Hawaii, and I was just like, man, I love this koi pond life. Like,
yeah, I know, right?
I feel like that's the most baller thing you can do is have fish in a pond outside where you're living. Like a small little, like. I'm too good for a fish tank. Look at this giant koi.
I'd be so scared to have that. Like, I would just feel like something's gonna go wrong.
Right.
Where, like,
that's the first thing I'm thinking too. Like, someone's gonna do something stupid, and those fish are gonna die.
Somebody dropped a Red Bull in there.
Somebody dropped a Red Bull in there.
Yo, I don't drop my Red Bull.
Yeah, but yeah,
I don't drop my Red Bull.
TGS, man, it's an experience for sure. I can't believe we've done so many game conferences this year. But,
yeah. It's been crazy.
Yeah, and Tokyo's just fun to visit. It was Saturn's first time. I should mention that Saturn didn't have a passport until like 5 days before.
Cutting it close.
Yeah, well, we checked into it and like they're like, yeah, we'll get it in time, sort of thing. Maybe it was 10 days. Oh, I forgot. We drove go-karts though.
That picture looked surreal.
No. Okay, so when I saw that picture, I was like, man, are go-karts in Japan just significantly better than the go-karts we have here? It was insane.
So it's not a go-kart. It's actually it is a go-kart, but it's street legal. It's got everything that a car needs. It meets all the safety requirements and everything.
I want one of those.
Yeah, and it went like 50 to 60 kilometers an hour. And it probably could have gone faster. Just we were in Tokyo, so. We didn't get to go too fast.
Yeah, nowhere to really
we always
start
went the speed limit.
through.
Yeah, we always went the speed limit. 100%. It was so much fun. So really easy to do. You just have to bring your international driver's permit, which is as easy as going to a AAA and paying $30, and they give you that, and it's good for about a year. And then you show that to the place, and it's about $100 to do, and it's a 2-hour tour of Tokyo in a go-kart. And like they have like 3 different levels. I think we did medium. There's like a 30 to an hour, a 2-hour, and a 3-hour.
Gotcha.
Next time I'm going to do 3 hours, and I'm going to go at night. We originally wanted to do night, but they didn't have anything available at that time.
Mm-hmm.
I would be scared to drive one of those things around at night. You know, like you're so low.
Yeah, you have a stick that shows, that's identifies that you're driving around, and you're in a group of like 6 people.
I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
And they got lights on them. You're in a group of 6 people. You're probably safe. And I think most drivers are used to it at this point. But it was really cool because all the people on the streets and a lot of tourists would see you, and they've never seen anything like it. And so like they're waving at you and taking photos and stuff. And they're like, one of the warnings is like, they're like, you're going to feel like a celebrity. And I'm like, I don't know if that's true, but no, you kind of do. Oh, the best part, and I don't think this is at all like anything they can do legally, but like in the document, it's like, you must acknowledge that this is not Mario Kart. Like, I don't think that's saving their ass in any way.
What did you do? Mario Kart?
Yeah. Tokyo Kart. So yeah, they're like, do not say Mario Kart on social media or anything like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, how can you not? Like, they're obvious Mario Karts. Like, the only thing that surprised me the most was that they were all painted red, and you didn't have like a Luigi one, a princess one, Because they looked so Mario Kartish.
Yeah, I know. The only way they could have been even more is if they added balloons to the back of the cars.
Oh my god, yeah. They didn't have to be real balloons, just have like little plaster balls hanging off the back.
Yeah. Oh, it'd be so funny.
That would be really cool.
Yeah. I got some good footage with my GoPro.
That's great.
I got to get someone to edit that, but yeah, no, it was really such a fun experience. And like the food there is always so good. And of course I went to Din Tai Fung. And Saturn got to try his first Xiaolongbao and whatnot. So good times had by all.
Times.
Nice.
Good times. I really it's my, I'm pretty open with my dream spot to go is Tokyo. I want to go so bad. I've wanted to go ever since I was a kid.
Yeah.
I found out that they got video games earlier than us, which isn't really so much of a problem anymore, but there's still some shit there Nintendo wise that I feel like I could buy that I could not buy here, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
I wasn't even trying to do it, but I ended up buying a bunch of games. I actually found I found a Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles DSi in box.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Perfect condition, $60. eBay, $150 to $250.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's for donkey. Yeah, like when I see prices of the stuff there, I'm like, how does that even make sense? You look on eBay and it's always so much more.
Yeah. We went to so many game shops, and like Saturn got some things, I got some stuff. Like overall, it was just like I had no intention of buying anything this trip, and I bought like 5-6 things. That's how it is.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, this is so much cheaper. I need this.
Yeah, so you guys didn't get too much time to like explore. You got what, 2 days to like explore Tokyo and everything, pretty much?
Yeah, we had Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
To go out, and then our Monday was we had like a late afternoon flight, but it was raining, so it was pretty much like wake up, leave the Airbnb by noon, and just hang out at the airport.
Damn shame.
That sucks.
Nowhere to put our luggage and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've just confirmed though that we need to do a Warp World group trip and stay at this Airbnb.
Yeah.
This 45-person Airbnb with the koi pond. Like,
I mean, in May, let's do it.
I'm glad we have just confirmed that. We have no way of paying for that, but
I could sell
seems
Bitcoin.
cool, man. So,
that's what I told Saturn. I'm like, it's only 1 Bitcoin. It'd be
fair.
It'd be an experience.
I mean, if you got, I don't know your Bitcoin portfolio right now, but I know you're holding on to some Bitcoins in there. So I'm glad to know you're willing to cash those out for a good time for all of us.
Yeah, for a good time, absolutely.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Well,
speaking of good time.
Speaking of good times, wait, are we just gonna go right?
Yeah,
into that?
let's go to it. TGS was great. 10 out of 10. We'll go again.
All right, TGS was great. So TwitchCon, go to that. TGS, go to that.
Only go to TGS if you are in the industry. Don't go for public day. You will go crazy.
All right. Well, let's just go ahead and talk about then a little bit of, would this be like drama alert? What do we call this segment? I feel like we need to segment this. Are we going into what I think we're going into? I think we got to go into that because he just segmented with good time, right? Or were you gonna go segment into something else?
I was gonna segment into you know what else is a good time.
Okay.
I see what you were thinking, Pooh. Yeah. Let's save the hot drama alert for our finale tonight.
Okay, yeah. I apologize.
You know what's a good time, man?
What's that?
Playing The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, dude. That game is a good time.
You know what else is a good time?
What's a good time, man?
Being a goose.
Yo, I bet.
Honk. 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 Get some fiend honks in the chat. You know what else is a good time?
What else, dude?
Playing some Sega classics.
Maybe.
Hey, we played it. You're just salty because I beat you.
There's some.
Yeah, I mean, you're too good at Sega, man.
Okay, let's just go ahead and start. The 3 hot things dropping this week. Well, it'll be this Friday if you guys are listening to this not live, but on your iTunes or your SoundClouds or whatever, Spotify's. But we got Link's Awakening, which is the Link's Awakening remake, which is dropping on Friday. We have Untitled Goose Game, which I don't know why this annoys me so much, but if that's the title, it's not Untitled anymore.
Yeah, that is the title.
And the Sega, the hotly anticipated Sega Mini. Yeah. Sega Genesis Mini.
Let's break it in reverse order.
Okay. Talk about this.
Sega Goose Zelda.
All right. Okay.
So Sega Mini actually dropped today, Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah. I have one waiting in a Amazon pickup box. So right after this podcast, I'm going to go grab it.
Nice.
It already looks hackable. So A+ Sega. Demand doesn't either they have way too many or not a lot of demand, because I literally bought it this morning. I didn't pre-order it beforehand. Amazon had them on the Amazon treasure truck, and like they seem like they're not selling out. So either Sega oversupplied, or people just don't care, or people are waiting to see if they are hackable.
I gotta imagine that like they're getting a modest amount of orders, but definitely not like a sellout amount, you know?
Mm-hmm. I think it's going to do better than the Sony Classic.
I think so too.
But it's still going to do not as good as the Nintendo Classics. One reason being Sega's released multiple like classic consoles like this before with, I don't remember the company, but they partnered with a previous company to do it. And like, they've always kind of been kind of shit.
I remember seeing them at like Giant Tigers in Canada and all that stuff. Yeah.
Wait, what's a Giant Tiger?
It's like a
Kroger.
It's like that's less than a Kroger.
Okay.
Less than a Kroger.
Wow. It has like some clothes. It's got some cheap groceries. It's got a couple toys. It's got some candy. It's like a weird, more than a dollar store, but less than a superstore.
It's like a not Walmart.
Yeah,
it's like half of a Walmart. No, like a third of a Walmart.
A shitty Meijer.
Yeah. It's about a third of a Walmart. I will say their clothes has always been reliable. I've gotten many a good socks from Giant Tiger, good underwear, reliable winter like warm clothing. Winter season comes up, you take a trip to Giant Tiger to prepare. That's how it works.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So and it was AT Games made the original like Sega classics essentially, and I think those were hackable in some way too. But like I think it required a lot of soldering, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting. I hope it does well. I hope Sega does something with it more. They do have a really cool Sega CD and 32X attachment that is in Japan. Like, yeah.
Oh, are you serious?
Wait, what?
Yeah. It does.
You're not kidding?
I'm not kidding. It's
so
real.
Stupid.
It's just plastic and it just attaches to it, and so you can have the Genesis.
So just for the look?
Just for the look. And it comes with the Sonic and Knuckles cartridge that you can then put another cartridge in.
That's the best. I love that.
This is gonna sound horrible, but
I want it.
I want those things more than I wanted the actual just classic. Like,
I know.
I weirdly want to buy it now, only if I can get those attachments though. You know what I mean?
Warp World trip in Japan, pick them back up.
Yeah, I looked because it wasn't out in Japan yet. Mm-hmm. So they weren't selling anything, which was really sad because I'm like, oh, this would have been perfect. 'Cause I want that as well. I really hope it comes to the States or we can import it easily. But it's so funny because it's the old Sega CD. The disc drive comes out and it's the fat one on the bottom.
Yeah.
Then you got the 32X and then you got the Sonic and Knuckles. But here's the thing. It comes with Sonic 1 and Sonic and Knuckles, which if you're a true hardcore Sonic fan, you know that game doesn't work. It doesn't have the lock-in chip or lockout chip or whatever they called it.
Uh-huh.
Wait, you can't do Knuckles with
Sonic 1?
Sonic 1? I thought you could.
No.
It was only Sonic 2?
Sonic 2 and 3. They technically you could.
But isn't Sonic 3 Sonic and Knuckles?
No, Sonic 3 is a separate game that also has Knuckles, but you can't play as Knuckles.
Unless you have Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
Yes. And then Sonic and Knuckles is basically Sonic 4. You can play that game solo. Sonic 1 technically can work with Sonic and Knuckles. Sega claimed that, it doesn't have the right chip, but it turns out it was a graphic issue that they couldn't solve, but ROM hackers figured it out. So take that,
GG,
Sega.
Guys. Yeah.
But yeah, it was a disappointing thing. If you put Sonic 1 in, you just got the Orb game in Sonic 3. You could only play that.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. But that works with any game.
Do you know what it's... So I'm looking at the Amazon page for the Genesis Mini, and they have games in waves, I'm reading in the description. Do you have to connect this thing to the internet to get the Wave 2, Wave 3, Wave 4 titles? Do you know what that's about?
No. So that's interesting. I wonder if that's why it's also technically hackable. I wonder if they're just going to let you plug in a USB to update the game waves.
Maybe the waves was how they announced them, because I think it comes with 40 games. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Then it's got these 40 games on here. Let me just say it. How are you going to release the Genesis Mini and not include Sonic 3 and Knuckles? That's stupid.
I mean,
make sure you're not looking at the old ones too, the flashbacks.
I think I'm looking at the new one. It's just Sega Genesis Mini.
Yeah, that's it. Okay.
Yeah, it looks like it's the one. It's got 40 games: Echo the Dolphin, Castlevania Bloodlines, Shining Force. But
Golden Axe.
Yeah, I think the waves are they're built-in games that you unlock as you play, maybe. But they're all there.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
That's not the worst.
Well, yeah, there's a reason to do that. If you give consumers too much choice, they're like, this is garbage, this is garbage, this is garbage, and they're like, there's 2 good games. But if you lock them to a few games and you got to play just a few games here and there, you might find something that you would have not played before because you had less choice.
Being forced to unlock gives you that retro feel too, back when you had to actually unlock things in video games, which is kind of I respect it. I get it.
But no Sonic 3, no Sonic and Knuckles.
Which are by far the best parts.
I mean, Sonic 2 was pretty good, but 3 was just so good. And honestly, but don't worry, it's hackable.
Yeah.
You're going to get whatever you want with it.
It just feels so weird that they wouldn't have cleared that for release. Because it's just, they got Sonic 1 and 2 on there. How are you going to leave out 3?
I'm excited to play Castlevania Bloodlines because this is going to be a game that most people could never play legit, or at least without pirating.
You should give Shining Force a go. Shining Force.
Oh yeah, I
cool.
love the Shining Force series. 2 is my favorite, but is it on there?
I think that's one of the, and something with the SNES Mini, having Star Fox 2 on it was such a I was gonna buy it just to get Star Fox 2 because I never could. You know, like I think that's something that is a really good marketing ploy for all these mini systems is like, hey, here's a really famous canceled game, or here's a famous game that you could only get in this region and you couldn't get it here for whatever reason. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I think those are really good plays to help generate buzz and ultimately market the system as like, you know, I mean, like Star Fox 2 is the only Super Nintendo game where the speedruns are on the SNES Mini. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that is it. The rest of them, you can't run it, or it's either too slow or too fast, actually, weirdly, with Yoshi's Island. So you can't run it. So it's like, it's kind of cool for that. You know what I mean? It definitely adds value to the collector in that situation, or someone who already has everything. I'm going to get it because I'm a sucker. Yep. Yeah, I buy way too much stuff as it is. So I'm definitely copping it, but I don't think the appeal of the Genesis Mini is there like the appeal of any of the Nintendo Minis. Does that make sense?
Because
No,
like
I
Nintendo kept up their brand recognizability. Like people still love Nintendo, whereas Sega is still known, and like I still love their stuff, but
yeah, me too.
They definitely tapered off after everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, right. I think you're right. And also, Sega has released multiple systems like this over the last few years. So,
yeah,
a lot of people that really wanted them, they probably already have those, and they might be put off by them already, or they just like, I don't need it. I got this.
Mm-hmm.
Next up would be Untitled Goose Game. Obviously, I know me and Xwater have been excited about that game for a long time. I don't know about you, Pooh, maybe.
I had never heard of it until 2 weeks ago.
Really? Okay. Wow.
Yeah. No, I literally had never heard of it till 2 weeks ago, and I don't know what it's about, but I will say, like, the graphic style and the way that they're not taking themselves seriously has made me very intrigued, and I'm totally putting down Link's Awakening at the end of stream tomorrow and playing some Untitled Goose Game.
Yeah. For those that don't know, you play a goose and you terrorize a town. You steal things from people. There's a little boy that has an airplane, and if you are able to sneak up on him and untie his shoe, he drops the plane, and then you take the plane from him, and then he chases you, and he trips, and he loses his glasses, and then you steal his glasses, and now he's walking around blind. It's so silly that this is a game. I've been super excited for it. It got delayed until now, obviously. So finally coming out. I know myself and Fiend are very excited to play it. We both have two of the most original emotes on Twitch, Fiend Honk and Jakku Honk. Completely original, both of them. But yeah, the
Jakku block too is a very original emote.
Yes,
like another one.
Jakku,
super original. Yeah.
It's such a silly game, but I'm super excited for it. Unfortunately, it did suffer the fate of being on the Epic Game Store. It was Steam and Switch, but it's an Epic exclusive right now. So if you pre-ordered or tried to pre-order on Steam, you can't. You had to get it on Epic, which for some people not a big deal. For others, kind of a big deal.
I mean, not to like change the subject.
No, go for it.
But after like buying Borderlands 3 and everything and playing it, I don't think it's that big a fucking deal. Like honestly, like the Epic Game Store is not like fucking Origin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. It's a pretty attractive store, and it works. And I
had a lot of issues trying to buy Borderlands, actually. Like the buttons straight up weren't working on the Epic Game Store client. Like I was trying to pay with PayPal, and I clicked pay with PayPal, and it wouldn't open up anything. And I clicked pay with PayPal, and it wouldn't work. And I tried to switch to credit cards, and that wouldn't work until eventually I shut it down, reopened it, and finally it would start like letting me through. But it was having some issues when I was first trying to like buy the game.
Wow, they didn't want your money.
Yeah.
I stand corrected then, you know what I mean? But I don't know. I think I feel like that's one of those things that's like gone. It's like saying the words microtransactions. Yeah. Which in a lot of ways can be a very positive thing for a game, but if you say the words microtransaction, like the internet is just irrationally angry at this point. And I feel like I can't help but feel like the Epic Game Store has suffered that fate now, you know?
Yeah. To give, to help out Epic on this, like they have guaranteed developers a certain amount of money by moving your game to this. And somebody did a report not too long ago where it showed like the average amount of money that developers make on Steam right now. And it was really low. It was like half of what it was a year ago. And so like to have that guaranteed amount of money, I'm not going to blame indie game developers for sure.
Yeah.
I might blame, 2K and Borderlands a little bit, but
even with Borderlands, they're using their engine. Like they're using Epic's engine.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So I have to imagine that deal was pretty sweet all around.
That's fair. Yeah.
I mean, the rumor, to what you said, the rumor is that they basically make sure the studio breaks even.
Yeah, absolutely. At least break even. And
that's huge.
That is huge. And that's great for both of those parties for sure. And again, like consumers have choice. If they really do hate it, they can wait and it will come to Steam eventually and they can vote with their wallets. And if it doesn't work out, if people did really hold off for 6 months or a year, whatever it may be, and then the game sold like crazy on Steam, then they're probably not going to go to an exclusive next time. You got to test the waters. I'm holding out just because, one, I don't have time to play Borderlands 3, unfortunately. And two, I do want Borderlands 1, 2, and 3 just on my Steam. Just easy. But
it was real hard to like start up a playthrough without you. It felt weird.
No, I mean,
it felt dirty.
Yeah,
I was
it
in
felt
Japan.
dirty.
Yeah,
I know.
I tried my best to take your spot, Jaku, but then it was kind of funny because once I got off, we played for like 5 hours together, and then I got off and I checked you back on Twitch like 3.5 hours later, 4 hours later, and they were still playing, and I was like, man, this part looks way more fun than anything we did.
Dude, it kept ramping up. Yo, I gotta say, I made a solo character later and started playing the Siren, and dude, so fun. I love the Siren.
Yeah, I was having a lot of fun with Siren. I was definitely having a lot of fun with her. So
that's awesome. But yeah, no, I mean, it looks like a great game. I caught some of it out, but again, like I just don't have time. I do have some time for some Goose Game though.
Yeah, you do have some time.
That's a much less of a commitment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Does this Goose Game have a point, or is it just like, here's a world, you're a goose?
I think it's like a sandbox. It might have some like missions. There is a box, and there is kind of like a Metal Gear Solid type feel to it. So so maybe. Okay. I actually should be streaming it tomorrow, which is
nice.
Should be good.
Yeah.
First stream in a while. And then it brings us to Zelda. Link's Awakening, a game that we all played except for Xwater 20 years ago, 30 years ago.
I played it this year, so.
I know.
You did.
Yeah. We played it 30 years ago. It's getting good reviews. It's there's definitely some people wondering though, is it worth the $60 price point? I don't want to get too much into it because it's not our hot take, but it is.
I mean, I'm kind of torn. I'm torn on this because I am someone who always says video games are just stupid cheap. You know what I mean? Like I'm one of those people that's like, all video games should be hundreds of dollars because they're so much more expensive to make, and they're pretty much the same price they were in 1985 right now. But I think this is a very interesting case because this is a game that came out in 1993 for $30. You know, like Game Boy games were only $30 back then. They were literally half the price of regular games, and so it is a very fascinating. It's more debatable. I feel like.
Yeah. It almost feels like the Switch was a coy way to get away with like making portable games and charging home console game prices.
Right. It was originally a 3DS game.
Mm-hmm. Because it's by the studio that did the Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask on the 3DS.
Yeah.
It does look very like Link Between Worlds too. It definitely is sharing some stuff with Link Between Worlds, I'm sure. Yeah. So that's all very interesting too. I personally think that particular game, and granted, I have not played it since I was 15, I think was the last time I played it. So it's going to be really fun for me because it's going to feel very, not new, but there's going to be a lot of moments like, oh, I remember that now. Oh, I remember that now.
Like the puzzles are
I don't remember this at all. Exactly.
Unfamiliar, so it'll be fun, but it'll be familiar and you're like, wow, nostalgia.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Like I'm going to have that perfect amount of mix for a remake. So I think I'm definitely going to get $60 worth of happiness out of this game.
Sure.
And I also think I don't know. Like, I think it's like such a good Zelda game as it is that I don't think anyone's going to be really mad that it's $60, but I do understand this particular debate for this game. But it is like a full blown out, like, they didn't take any assets.
No, they didn't take anything from the original game. It's the same map, but it's updated and it's 3D. It's people, it's a 10-hour game at most. I think for most playthroughs, and that's kind of the thing. And it being like originally a 3DS game, I feel like Nintendo could have thrown some people a bone and been like, yeah, give it to you for 40, maybe even 50 at the most, because like Pokemon Go, or not Pokemon, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, whatever, that was $50, but then it was $10 to get that extra controller, I believe.
Wait, was it 50? I thought it was the full price for that game.
It was
like
60,
even without the Pokeball.
No, I think with the Pokeball it was 60, and then it was 10, and then like Mario Maker 2, I paid 50 out when we bought it at SGDQ. So I don't know what's going on with the prices of games right now.
Wow, that's wild.
Yeah. So I don't know, but I feel like 40 to 50 would have been more than fair. Again, it's for a lot of people, it's gonna be the first time playing it. So maybe it's worth the $60 price. But we'll see. Like, we haven't played it yet. I guess we can bring this up next week.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just Canada, but I got Pokemon Let's Go, both of them at like full game price for Canadian Amazon.
And that was no Pokeball?
No Pokeball, yeah. The Pokeball version's clocking in at 200 Canadian dollars, and that doesn't sound accurate, so I'm going to ignore that one. But anyway, back on topic, I agree with a lot of what you're saying, and it would be really sweet. I think the big point from Nintendo might be if... Like, this is kind of like how they re-released Tropical Freeze for $60 instead of throwing in a homie discount there. Once they almost never release games for less than 60, and when they if they do, it'll start opening up that expectation, and I think they don't want to do that.
Sure.
Typical Nintendo fashion of this is how we operate, and if you don't like it, you don't have to buy it, right? Like. That's pretty much how they are with everything.
Yeah. And I also think they understand that they're gonna sell 5 million copies of this game minimum. Like, probably, I would not be surprised if this game sold 7 million copies, 8 million copies, which seems kind of insane to me. But that's how first party Nintendo games are selling on the Switch. Man, there's a lot of Switches out there, and the best games that are coming out for it are Nintendo games, obviously. And it's just, I don't know. I could see this game selling, I feel like minimum 5 million copies,
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you charge 60 and sell 5 million, if you charge 30, you got to sell 10 million. It's a lot harder to do that,
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if they'd sell 10 million copies if they only charge $30 in that, you know?
I can't find anything on the Pokemon Go with the controller, but right now it sells for $45.
Damn, we're getting ripped off over here, man.
Yeah. Now that you're talking about it, though, like Pokemon is interesting because this will be the first time where people are buying, like, they're buying Sword and Shield at one time. They're spending $120 instead of 60.
Yeah, people used to buy both, and now, that's a lot different. Bill. Yeah.
That is gonna be wild. Yeah, Pokemon. It's like the first time I'm not picking up a Pokemon game on launch.
Yeah.
I'm not interested enough.
I haven't bought the last Pokemon game I got on launch. Ooh, maybe it was XY, but even maybe it was black and white. After Red Blue, I kind of like. I dip my toe in every few years.
Yeah. Check and see what's up and be like, okay, that was cool.
Yeah, I can't remember 900 Pokemon, but luckily with Sword and Shield, I don't have to.
Nice. Got him.
I think Black and White was the last one I really got into. I really liked Black and White's story. Like, the whole, it was, to me, it's still the best story that Pokemon's ever told because it had such a, like, hey, maybe we shouldn't fight these animals.
Yeah.
Like, the bad guys in that one were actually the good guys.
Yeah. Let's fight them anyways.
Yeah. That was the weird thing about it. It's like, oh, we're bad guys. We're trying to, you shouldn't fight with the Pokemon. You should treat them with respect and things. But we're going to use these Pokemon to fight because it's the only way we can resolve our problems right now. They still didn't want to resort to real violence.
Right. No. Yeah. Not about to whip out the Pokemon gun just yet.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah. But I did like that story a lot. That's the last one I can really remember getting into. I kind of feel the same way about this one. It's interesting because it's the first time it's like a full-fledged console Pokemon, and it does look like big and expansive, and I really like I kind of like, I dig the more Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu style of, like, you can see the Pokemon and walk up to them a lot of the times and see you see the grass moving. So, like, there's still random battles, but they're less style of random. And you can, like, you can, like, see a Pokemon and run away from it, or see a Pokemon and run to it. And I don't know. So I'm interested, but I wouldn't say I'm, like, sold.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just can't see myself playing a shit ton of it. You know?
Yeah. There's so many games now, and
too many games, not enough time.
And a lot of these games are just like rehashes of games you've already played. So.
And Death Stranding comes out around the same time as Pokemon, I think. So, like, if you're even thinking about that game, you don't have time for another game for at least like 2 weeks.
So we saw that at TGS, and somebody was they were using the I guess the urinate function, and they were trying to get the camera to swing around,
and he just keeps like pivoting as you try, right?
Yeah. That was, we're like, oh yeah, of course you're gonna try that.
Yeah. That's actually really funny.
Yeah.
Death Stranding is probably, like, I can't wait to pour like 25-30 hours into Death Stranding and like realize that I fucking hate this game, but still continue to pour another 25 to 30 hours in it, because I think it straight up, honestly, I think it's going to be a fucking train wreck. I really do.
I don't remember what Kojima said, but he said something like, people are not going to have fun for the first 10 to 20 hours.
Yeah, he made a tweet about it.
Yeah.
It was something along the lines of, like, the game doesn't get really fun until about 20 hours in. And I was like,
okay.
That's so long.
I know.
That is a lot of time. It's like when someone tells you, like, oh, yeah, man, World of Warcraft gets good once you get to the end game, man. For sure.
Oh, yeah,
you're going to love it once you get to the end game. It's like, that doesn't sound like a good game to me then. The end should be another fun part, not the only.
Right.
I am so, like, I am a huge Kojima fan. I love the Metal Gear Solid series so much. But I can't help but feel like, you know, a Kojima with no reins, like, you know what I mean, with just an unlimited budget into any of his own ideas is a scary thing.
Absolutely.
You know, like, in a lot of ways.
Absolutely. This will be very interesting to see how this game does just based on that alone.
Oh, guys.
Yeah.
I just remembered there's one more thing happening tomorrow.
Okay.
It's the Area 51 raid day.
Oh my God. How did we forget? I looked up flights to Las Vegas today.
Oh my God. You fucking... God damn it.
It was $600 for a one-way ticket.
You think Nintendo and an Untitled Goose Game came together to try and save Area 51?
Ooh,
like,
maybe.
We got to launch on September 20th to make sure that these dudes don't go through with it.
You know what would be better is if Untitled Goose Game released a bunch of geese around Area 51 for like as a commercial or advertisement for a game. Now that's how you rate Area 51.
That would be some massive viral marketing. Probably some backlash. I don't know how well geese would do in the desert.
Just give them some water. They're fine. They can fly. Honk. Yeah, the Area 51 raid. I'm interested to see the turnout. I don't know what's going on with that at all. But
probably nothing. Probably nothing. But it was a good meme while it lasted.
There's gonna be a few hundred people going somewhere.
No.
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna go to Area 51. They're probably gonna go to the tourist spot, and you're gonna get some videos and stuff. But I don't think anyone's actually gonna like raid or Naruto run towards it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just can't see anything actually coming out of that. But, you know, who fucking knows?
Yeah.
Like, it's just like it's a meme. I just don't think anyone was actually serious about it, you know?
Yeah. We might see something in like the next 3 hours.
I'm really excited to see if we see an article about it tomorrow, like 20 gamers Naruto run towards Area 51 before being stopped by dune buggy. I don't know, whatever they were driving out there.
How funny would it be if it was just reporters that showed up and they're like, nobody showed up at us. Oops.
And then the reporters do the raid. There you go.
Yeah, they have to by raid law.
That's the law, yeah.
By raid law. By raid law. You must do this.
You must abide by raid law or your raid is no longer in legal standing.
Well, speaking of legal standing.
Nice.
Hey,
I was going to say.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
That was a great one.
Sorry. I'm patting myself on the back for that one.
Yeah, you deserve it.
Valve just got convicted, which is a strong word, in France for banning the resale of digital games. I like how in our little warm-up sheet here, you guys can't see, but I think Xwater mistyped it and put demilitarized games.
I copy and pasted. No, I didn't. You're right. I didn't
Dematerialized.
Luckily for us, we realized he meant digital games because he put another sentence and like, how can you even resell digital games? But that is kind of interesting that you talk about it. Like, that's a big issue, and you heard about it a lot when the Xbox One was first announced, and it didn't have the ability to. Everything was supposed to be digital and loaded on your thing, and you couldn't resell games, that way, and it was a big fucking deal. People were pissed about that. Should you be allowed to resell digital video games?
How could you? I just don't understand how that would work. Because do you ever really own a digital game?
Computer magic. I mean, I think you should be able to, and you technically, you totally.
But then
could.
what would stop anyone from ever buying the game from the developer at that point?
There's no digital copies on sale. There's no one's reselling the game at the moment.
I don't think that would be much of an issue.
Well, I think that's one thing that has to happen is when you resell it, the developer has to still get a percentage. I think that would make most parties happy.
I think that would make a lot more sense. Yeah.
Which that was Xbox One's original kind of view, but they were only going to allow what was it official resellers? Yeah. So you could, it's like had to be like GameStop. You couldn't fucking, go resell it to your garage sale
Joe Shop.
Something.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The biggest issue you have with this is users setting prices. Because if I bought Borderlands 3 and I sold it to you for $1, so I lost $59 out of this. And if the developer does take a cut, they get like pennies here. But that's an easy way to share games with friends, where you just trade a game for $1. Like, hey, you want to play this game? I'll sell it to you for $1, and then you sell it back to me for $1 later.
Yeah. You each ended up paying a net of whatever the 10-cent fee that the company got is.
But maybe that's fine because if users do that hundreds of times, that 10 cents adds up to more money that didn't cost the developers anything.
But if users are doing that hundreds of times, that's hundreds of people who likely would have bought the game from the developer, didn't.
Maybe.
Yeah, not guaranteed. It's the same as the pirating analogy where it's sometimes people pirate games that they wouldn't have bought, and not being able to pirate it might not mean that they would have bought it instead,
Yeah. I feel like piracy has gone down a lot now that games are a lot more accessible, and especially with region pricing for these digital games. Buying a game in Russia is a lot cheaper than in the US. And it used to be the same price when it was all you just got to buy it. So I have to imagine piracy has gone down quite a bit. And I know companies are still worried about it in certain regards, but they're really more worried about just day one sales. And then anything after that, they're fine with essentially. They just have the you see a lot of the companies, Sega's one of them, they put a lot of the anti-piracy stuff in for the launch of the game, and then a week or two after they remove it. And it's just to get those day one sales.
Yeah, I don't know about the digital resale. I'm weirdly torn on this, because if I sell you a PC that has Windows installed on it, that's now your copy of Windows, you know what I mean? I transferred that license. It's just such a weird gray area, because I don't think, and I'm very pro digital games. I'm very pro. I buy most of my games digitally now on console. Doesn't matter. I'm buying a lot of digital games. It's just I don't know. It's strange. I don't know I feel like we're definitely going to see in the next like 5-10 years, especially it gets bigger, a definitive like who owns this game. Are we renting a license for $60? Are we buying a license for $60? How much rights do we have to those licenses for those games for $60? So
yeah, like if you buy a game on Steam and get banned from Steam, you don't have that game anymore, right? Like you paid the money, but you can't play it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Don't get banned.
Yeah, which means that like it really isn't your game. Your
game. Yeah.
You paid for access to it on the condition that you don't go against whatever Steam's wishes are, whatever their rules are.
Yeah, and so with France setting this, I think like obviously Valve can probably appeal and try to prevent from doing that, but I wonder if so one of two things could happen here, maybe even more, but it's 50-50 shot. I feel like either Valve is going to pull out of France, which is the first time anyone ever pulled out of France. So they're going to pull out of France and just not have Steam there, or this is going to be something that more countries and things are going to enforce, and now all game like stores like this are going to have to start doing this. And we don't know. Like this is kind of huge in this space right now. People have been asking for it for a long time, but no country's ever been like, "Hey, this is the law now."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think. Yeah. I mean, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say another interesting part of this is just any game that has in-game purchases too. Like, if I have an Overwatch account with a bunch of 6 skins, number one, can I sell those skins according to what France wants? Number two, can I sell that would give value to my used game, right? That would give my used game value compared to someone else's or the company's brand new, because I spent the time to unlock like a gold gun on my Roadhog and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's interesting. So I guess you could do it one of two ways. You when you sell your game, you sell everything that goes with your account, or you sell the game, but you keep those items. So if you ever rebought the game, you keep that stuff.
Yeah.
Because it is technically tied to your account and not to your game in that regard. But DLC for sure. I guess like Borderlands, right? Borderlands 2 and 1 had a bunch of DLC. That'd probably be more tied to the game than the account, I would assume. But it's a slippery slope. I feel like we're just at the start of this. Lots to come forth and develop on this.
Yeah, I'd love to, I hope we can keep up with whatever's going on here. I hope it stays in the news because it's very interesting. France is making an interesting move here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely pro-consumer. I think as consumers of video games, I would like to be able to resell my digital games on all platforms. It's kind of interesting, though, that, is this going to set a is Nintendo, is Sony, or Xbox going to have to change how they deal in France too, or is it just Valve? You know what I mean? Are they? Is it because Valve is only digital, and they don't even have an option on the Xbox you can buy most games not digitally.
I think you're onto something with that one for sure. A lot of times the brick and mortar play into something. That allows you to do something different on digital. Yeah, it will be interesting. But Epic would probably have to follow suit. If this is the case. So we'll see. I guess we'll see. Steam's just the big one right now.
I mean, I could really see Epic allowing you to do this anyway.
Yeah.
Eventually, just because I don't know. Just because it seems like Epic just has a lot of fucking money and they're willing to throw it around everywhere.
I just feel like digital sales did so much to help so much for the developers in terms of not losing money to resale of video games. That's by far a legitimate hit to the amount of money that a game makes over time, is the fact that people will buy and sell used copies of it. And the digital space for that has definitely shrunk that factor in terms of the amount of a financial hit that they're taking. So I can't envision a world where game developers want to move to a system where you can sell your digital copies. You can resell and the developer is more or less not involved in that transaction, because then like Nintendo's not making new sales on Smash Bros. After like 3 years, a bunch of dudes who don't play it anymore are just going to sell their copy to some other guy, and it's just going to hurt long-term profits for those games, which again, this is much more like that's not good for the consumer, better for the company, but better for the company means they get the money they need to keep making these games.
Right.
It might be interesting to see if there's like something where like, yeah, you can't sell this game until a year. You have to have had the game for a year before you can sell it, sort of thing too. Because that could, then be kind of a good for both sides. And especially if the developer still does get some portion of the sell. But I guess we'll see. It's very interesting, and we're eventually going to get to this space. There's no doubt about it. We'll have a digital GameStop because they got to close all their shops. So
got them.
So like I feel like this is the next play eventually, and then it will be interesting to see how that goes. Or we just go streaming only services like the Google Strata or whatever it is. Who knows what it is?
I mean, that's I don't know.
That's the next play.
That's already like a weird new world where you don't really even own, like you own it's like a Netflix of games,
right?
Where
Exactly.
you don't have a DVD of Friends. Netflix lets you watch it for as long as they have Friends.
Right, and I wonder if you can just argue that Steam is just Netflix for games. You just have to preload them.
Yeah.
So
I mean that's a good. I'm not a lawyer, but I feel like that's a good.
Well, I feel like
argument.
Microsoft Game Pass is way more like Netflix for games in that regard, because like Steam, you're still paying for each individual title. Game Pass, you put in the $12 a month, you got whatever you want that's available for whenever it's available, as long, and obviously you got to preload it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
But anyway, we talked about it a good chunk, and I'm hankering, man. I want to go into the hot take.
Hot take.
I want to get to that hot take.
Hot take.
Pooh, why don't you lead us off for this one? I feel like you got the place.
I'll talk about this. I'll talk about this, especially because this is actually weirdly I'm kind of involved in this now. There's a there's a guy named DJ Nintendo. He is a
DJ?
Smash Brothers commentator. And he claimed today on Twitter that he unofficially held world record speedruns in Mario 1, Mario 3, Mario World, and Mario Kart 64, but he never submitted his times. Right?
Oh, what a shame. Oh, man.
It just got to take his word for it.
This isn't the first time he's made this claim either. He made this claim in an article that was actually written on Red Bull's own website. My baby Red Bull is involved in this lie. They're involved in this lie. They help perpetuate this lie right here. And then, sorry, I'm like getting to the hot take before I'm already making my opinion known.
It's strong.
And then he also, like, even back in 2011, people found a post of him claiming this, and he's just like, yeah, I mean, I got back into Mario 64 or Mario Kart 64, but I'm just too lazy to get world record, but no doubt I could definitely do it. And so, oh my God, this makes me frustrated even talking about this. This is so ridiculous. So I tweeted at him and I was like, yo, I've never been close to Mario 3 world record. If you can beat me in a race, I'll give you $5,000. And he declined. He declined.
Wow, you'd think a world record caliber gamer would take that challenge any day of the week, because there's nothing, there's no way he loses. If he loses the race, he doesn't lose $5,000.
No. So,
unless he were, of course, to take, maybe 2-3 hours beating the game and embarrass himself. That he would lose his dignity.
Yeah, he would lose his dignity, definitely. Now, what gets better about this is during this podcast, I actually got some more information about this. Because he did do nobody's ever seen him play SMB1. But apparently he's been perpetuating this SMB3 lie for a long time. To the point where he even played it on stream one time, and a member of the Melee community, Fly Allergic on Twitch, he definitely watched him play this and commented about how he definitely was not world record movement. And he also had some very poor strats, including using the leaf in 8-2, which would utterly, like, that's like probably like 25 seconds. Not 25 seconds, I'm exaggerating. It's probably like 15 seconds slower than the optimal strat. That's been around for many, many, many moons. Because one thing that we've known about Mario 3 speedrunning since the beginning of time is that using the leaf is really, really slow and running is really, really fast. So I guess this hot take is, what are the chances that he actually knew about the world record times enough where he practiced them, because he claimed on Twitter he wanted to see if he could hang with the pros. So he knew about the world record times, knew about the places where you kept those world record times, practiced these games in the privacy of his own home, the hundreds of hours it would take, and then played them, never showed anyone in public that he did these times.
Never recorded it, never bothered
recorded
to, yeah.
And now he doesn't remember what the times were. He doesn't remember what year it took place. He remembers nothing about any of these times, other than he unofficially had the world record in 4 of the most competitive speedrun games in the world at different points. At different points in time. I think he meant at all at the same time too, which is even worse.
I think it's a 50-50 shot.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Honestly, I'm going to call bullshit because I unofficially held the world records for Super Mario Bros. SMB3 and Super Mario World. You know, so he didn't beat me. I know that.
Well, I also
I just don't have videos.
Unofficially had the world record, but only confined to my room.
Oh, yes.
So maybe he's confining the world to like his space. Have we thought of that?
I don't know.
Does he know the world's like big?
I don't know. I have no idea where he, like, I have no idea when he decided to start with this lie.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
at least 8 years ago.
Yeah, just in the small amount of research that I didn't do, it was just popped into the Twitter feeds about this. Because, of course, the internet, you know what I mean? The internet's always got receipts. And he, at some point in time, around 2010, 2011, he started telling people this was true. Yeah. And it's just an asinine, insane fucking claim. And it's degrading to every speedrunner who's ever existed, especially Mario Brothers speedrunners. And I'm my mind is blown. But I also think, just in like the way this guy's doing it, and from these stories I got to receive from other Melee players who I happen to know, you know, we've interacted at some point in time. This guy's just full of shit. Everything he says shit all the time that is just blatant lies. You know, like easy stuff to call out.
I mean,
and
yeah, in the article he's mentioned in the Red Bull article, which was 2015, 2016. I don't know if he's done it yet, but he said he was saving up for a new computer and capture card, and he would start streaming and speedrunning. It's one of the things he would do. So if he saved up and he got that computer and he hasn't done it, right there, he's a liar.
Proven liar. There you go.
I mean, I'm not even gonna give. I'll give him whatever, you know, on that. But like, it's the idea.
It's insulting.
Is insane.
Yeah, no, it's
insulting.
It's insulting for anyone that's actually spent the time to get those records. And a lot of people are like, oh, they're just you know, they're records that you guys create. It's an achievement. It takes a lot of skill to get there, and to just be like, oh yeah, I had the world record at some point, but I have zero proof. I won't tell you the times. I won't tell you when. Like, how are you supposed to believe that? How would anyone even start to believe that?
It's asinine, man. Honestly, like, I just think about it as if like it literally feels like something that would come out of the mouth of me at 8 years old. Like,
right?
It's just some dumb lie you tell on the playground to feel cool for half a second, you know? Like, obviously it's untrue. It's like the kid who thinks, yeah, you know, I'm like the best player, the Smash Bros player at this school, but like my mom said I can't have friends over and I can't go out today, so we can't play, but I'm definitely the best.
Yeah. A lot of people have likened him to Todd Rogers, but the difference is Todd Rogers at least submitted his fake scores.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We've seen Todd Rogers actually play those games.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like here's the difference. We actually know Todd Rogers is pretty good at video games.
Yeah.
He's just not as good as he said he was.
Mm-hmm.
This is like a complete mystery thing, And granted, the guy is actually like he was a decent Bowser back in the day in Melee, but this is the most insane thing I've ever heard, and I don't know. Like it's I mean, not to get political, but this is our fucking podcast, so we can't. It is a presidential type of lie that we have right now. You know what I mean? It's something that's just so dumb. It's so dumb. Like it's so dumb. Like you don't even have to say that. Like it's not helping you at all. You know what I mean? And so it's just so dumb. And but it's like you've said it out loud, so now you have to keep going with this lie. You know what I mean? Like you can't say no now. You can't go back on it now because you've said it out loud and you're just like, I'm gonna write. It's like it's the Shaggy school of lying.
So she caught me with another woman. Just tell her it wasn't you, dude. No, she has video evidence of it. Just say it wasn't you. You're not understanding here. There is documented proof that I am lying right now, but just say you're not.
To go a little more, like he's calling the people that are asking for proof triggered in this case.
Yes,
he's like, the quote is, I don't get why people are so triggered by my fact about the speed runs, like it's something that's impossible. LOL. The times I got were when I was a teenager. LMAO. So over 15 years ago, a race would be fun, but I decline. And it's like they're not triggered. Like you stepped into a space where a lot of people have spent this time doing this thing, and it's a big deal to these people, and you can't just do that. Like I think Pooh, you said it best about your what was it, your 2-minute mile or whatever?
Yeah, my 3-minute mile.
Yeah. Oh well, I ran a 3-minute mile, but I didn't record it or anything. But just take my word on it.
Yeah,
runners would be like, "You're full of shit." No, there's no way you did that. But yeah,
I don't know. It's I don't know. It's fascinating, and the fact that like this guy is like, he commentates like legit events. You know what I mean? Like he has a weird relationship. He has like a minor relationship with Nintendo. Like how is this? I don't know.
Do we even know if he's a DJ at this point?
Probably not. I'm willing to bet he's never DJ'd anything besides maybe like a middle school dance. Like, I don't know. Like,
I bet he wasn't even going to try out for American Idol.
The tweet is and it's just so dumb. It's just so dumb. It's like such a pointless thing to lie about.
It really is.
That's the thing, that it is a very pointless thing to lie about. But it's just asininely dumb.
Literally like child style lie right here. If you're above 10 years old, you have no excuse for this kind of stupidity. Like, I don't know what else to say.
No.
It's just so dumb. All right, you guys want to move on to some viewer questions?
Yeah, let's do it. I have them somewhere on all these tabs.
All right. While you're
DJ
pulling that
Nintendo,
up,
you are so dumb.
Okay, I gotta pull up. I actually got a private message, and I wanted to read this one out for you, Pooh, in regards to the podcast. So Jeff writes in saying, "I just wanted to holler at you and let you know that I appreciate all your love and passion to talk about Fire Emblem on the Warp World podcast. It always brings me great joy to see that you fight so hard for it at times. We got to work on getting Pooh to try one out. I got personally reached out to about this game. The fans are dedicated, Pooh."
Dude, I'm glad that the dozen of Fire Emblem fans all listen to the podcast. That really makes me excited. Probably because we're the only podcast that's ever talked about Fire Emblem in the history of time.
The worst part is I have nothing I can say back to this. There's no retaliation I can make.
So I'm really, really glad. I tell you, I mean, I don't know what. I tell you right now, I will play Fire Emblem the same day DJ Nintendo plays Mario 3.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love it.
Oh man.
Yeah. All right. Here's I got 3 viewer questions. This one we got just the other day, which is perfect. Hi, X Jack Poo. Will anyone be picking up Untitled Goose Game tomorrow, or know anyone who will? I've been super keen for this since the first gameplay video came out. Looking forward to seeing how popular it is with streamers. This comes from Miles. I'm gonna be doing it. I'm gonna be streaming.
I'm getting it.
Dragon Phoenix is gonna be streaming it. X-Water's gonna be streaming it. Pooh's gonna stream it after Zelda. It sounds like I think it's gonna be pretty popular. I think a lot of people are gonna have some fun with it.
Yeah.
Just remember that only Fiend and Jakku have the original honk emote. So anyone else with geese emotes, they're copying us.
Copiers.
Yeah. All right. This one comes from Manic T. Hello, Mario Masters. Oh, yeah. Hey, we got that title. If your podcast or stream could be sponsored by one product or service, what would it be? The benefits being that you would support their product, they would support you, and you might get some swag out of the deal. For the sake of removing the obvious, no Red Bull.
Okay. Lipton Brisk Lemon Iced Tea. Final answer.
Arizona iced tea. Final answer.
No, no, guys. For me, I mean, like outside of gaming, be Nike, but inside gaming, obviously, we would love to. I mean, we would just love to be able to have some sort of working relationship with Nintendo in general.
Sure.
Because it'd make our life easier, and B, like, want to know what the fuck's up in Nintendo games. So those two things I think would be my favorite.
Yeah.
But I don't know if either of you would care about Nike, so I don't know if that would work. I'm just shooting hard. I want to get that. Ninja got that Adidas sponsorship. I'm trying to scoop that Nike sponsorship. It makes sense.
We know
I'm
some
a
people
speed
at Nike.
runner. I know. I'm a speed runner. Like I don't think they're into video games, but they just did a few things with like Fortnite, the Jordan brand. So like it makes sense. I think like if you are gonna sponsor someone in the gaming world, why not someone who plays video games fast?
That's a good point.
I mean, but
pick this man up, Nike.
Yeah, I also understand why they'd be like, why would we sponsor someone whose fans literally think he doesn't have legs? So.
Because you ran a mile in 3 minutes.
I ran a 3-minute mile though. Like, come on, guys.
That's pretty good.
It's an impressive time, man. Did you document that though?
He documented his mind.
No.
Oh, okay,
I documented. Cool. Yeah, I mean, but I remember
unofficial
when it
mile.
His feet.
I remember it here. I remember it happening. I don't remember what year it happened or my full time, but it was easily a world record at the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Unofficial world record then.
Your feet remember it. That's the important thing.
My feet remember it, obviously. Yeah.
All right. Final question.
How many Jordans do I own? I just saw one in chat. How many Jordans do I own? A lot.
How many Jordans you own?
My kid has 4 pairs.
Oh my God. Your
amazing.
kid's got 4 more pairs of Jordans than I do.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, 3. I didn't buy. I only bought one of them. 3 of them were bought by family members because they know how much I love Jordans.
Yeah.
And the 4th one I bought because they were these snakeskin Jordan 11. Jordan 11s are my favorite ones. There's these dope blue snakeskin ones. And then like as I bought it, I saw the baby version, and I was just like,
oh my God.
So now,
Tell me, Lopi's walking around his first few steps in snakeskin Jordans.
That's amazing.
Yeah. He's still got probably like 4 or 5 months before it'll fit into him, and it'll probably fit into him for like 2 days. But I'm gonna get a matching outfit. We're doing the whole thing. We're gonna do the horrible like dumb pictures with the same outfits.
That's amazing. I can't wait. I can't wait.
That'll be good. So good. Someone in chat reminded me of Olive Garden existing, and this Monday is the start of the Olive Garden Pasta Pass season.
Yeah.
So I'm going there for lunch. But final
breakfast,
question.
lunch, and dinner.
Yeah. Final question comes from Lamsong, I think. Hey Warpers, big fan here. I was wondering if there's an event that you personally or the Warp world as a whole would want to do. Thanks for the awesome content. Obviously go to Tokyo and get that Airbnb. But what event other than like Bit Summit, which will be cool, but what big event would you want to do or Warp World to do?
I think we all want to see crowd control at GDQ.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. For a couple of reasons. One, it would be super fun to watch
that many people.
Group. Yeah, many people do crowd control. And B, I want to see if it'll break.
I hope not.
Yeah.
Everything breaks, but The question is, will it recover fast enough to not notice? GDQ would be huge for Warp World. Yeah, I mean we're working towards it, so should be good. I guess. I hope.
Yeah,
we're figuring it out. We always do. I'm confident.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, no. Okay, cool. I think that's it then. Unless Xwater has an event.
No, honestly, anything like what events aren't in our sights, you know?
Sure.
I feel like we've done a lot of stuff like Bit Summit in the future. We've technically been at E3 as a podcast at this point, which is
that's true.
Super baller. You know, we've done a lot of cool stuff.
I've never been to E3, so I still want to go to E3
next year, man. We're all
personally.
We're all go to E3. We have to go to what's it called now?
We got to go to your hotel, Jaku.
Oh yeah, we got to go to my hotel that I own. But there's it was the Destiny conference. It changed to.
Oh, that's right. Guardian
Con.
Guardian Con's new name. We got to go to that.
That's true.
We were actually invited to last year, but it just did not work for timing. Unfortunately,
that's a good one.
This year.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have a lot more conferences in 2020. That's my vision for next year.
Oh man,
all right.
Yeah, a lot more stuff. There's got to be something else. I'm trying to think. I like we've all been to GDC though. Like that's definitely my favorite one that I've ever gone to.
Yeah, GDC was cool. We haven't done anything at PAX. I think, Pooh, you've been to PAX, right? Yeah.
I've done PAX twice. I've done like meet and greets and stuff there. But
yeah.
I kind of hate PAX. So
same.
No,
never been to one
against
yet.
PAX. Yeah, nothing against PAX.
Yeah, it's just so much. It's like TGS.
I want to have crowd control at Bumble Bash.
Yeah, that's a cool one.
I'm not gonna spoil anything. All right. All right. That's gonna be it. I think episode 113. I have to go
in the books.
Yeah, I have to go get this package from my Amazon box.
Yeah. I gotta go stop at the bank. Boy, I had a small piece of news. I sold my Magic the Gathering collection today, guys. The entire thing.
Whoa. Oh my god.
Every card is gone except for one. I kept one.
Which one did you keep?
An island?
It was a card a buddy got me for my birthday a few years ago.
Oh.
It's Aloro, the ageless something. It's a word I can't pronounce.
What okay, no, I'm sorry. I'm like not to extend our podcast here,
I was gonna extend it too, so
when did you start playing Magic? When did you quit? Like what years were these or like what sets
I think 2011 I started. It was the end of the Ravnica, Return to Ravnica block, start of Theros, and I've played for since then. Me and my buddies have Magic Monday. We get together every Monday. We play Magic
anymore.
Not anymore.
I'm not a part of Magic Monday anymore. I tried to create Friends Day Wednesday in its place. So I'm hoping
Money
they
Mike's
start
thirst
showing up.
was too strong for Magic Monday.
No, I wanted to get out of it because it's a time sink when you're not playing. You'd have to spend some time like making decks. It's a cost sink over time if you want to keep up with new cards, and I'm trying to, it's a step towards more growing up type of stuff. I already, found a way to play video games and make that okay because it's technically part of my job. But Magic the Gathering, like I don't make any money off of it. I don't really advance my career with it. So that's valuable time I could be spending like either working on stuff with Warp World or working on podcast ideas or working on just YouTube stuff or even streaming more or you're just enjoying like other things in life. So I decided like a couple weeks ago, like that's it. I'm going to post everything. And I had a guy actually drive like 5 hours down from like somewhere around Toronto today to come pick it all up.
Wow.
Yeah.
How much you get for it, if you don't mind me asking?
$3,300.
Not bad.
Canadian.
Okay, now, how do you think you came out on top or on bottom?
I think I recuperated at least everything I've spent playing this game.
Okay.
Over the years, yeah. Because there was one point in time where some dude on Facebook in like the Magic Facebook group local was giving away his entire collection, just giving it away. And I was out grabbing a pizza when I saw this. And I was like, yeah, as they call me Pizza Mick for a reason. So I hit him up and I'm like, I will come literally right now. And so I show up to this guy's doorstep. I just picked up a pizza and I'm like, he gave me like I'd say somewhere like probably 60 pounds of cards.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
and like I was like, dude, you got it. Like, can I give you some money for this? He's like, no, my girlfriend's fed up with it. I just got to get rid of it. Just take it all. He like organized like $1,000 worth of cards out of that for me, and I found like another $1,000 worth of cards in it. So that was like fueled the hobby for me for years. Like that one pickup. I offered the guy pizza too, and he didn't even want it. I was like, dude, at least take half a pizza if you're gonna give me all this.
Yeah. You didn't want to lose the whole piece. You're like, I
had man's got to eat dinner. Okay.
Yeah. So you mentioned Magic, and I forgot when in Tokyo, Saturn's a big Magic fan, and we went into a few buildings,
card shops.
It was floor after floor of Magic cards.
Oh my god. I can only imagine the kind of like rare shit they had.
Yeah, I had never seen so many Magic cards in my life.
Dude, they did such a cool thing in the latest, like the set where it was all Planeswalker based. Japan had alternate art for every Planeswalker where they were done in like anime style. And cool. That was so cool.
Dude, I used to like when I was playing, it was huge for me to get Korean or Japanese foil cards. Like I was so into it. I would break the bank getting those cards. And man, Magic, it's kind of wild because Magic cards like really hold their value. They
just keep going up, dude.
Yeah. Like they really keep going up. It's kind of crazy how much like how the Magic card game, like that's my biggest regret in life was selling my all my Magic cards. I sold mine in like 2001. And wow. I mean, like I've seen some of the cards I had now. Like I had most of the Power 9 in Alpha and a Black Lotus in Beta. And
wow,
dude,
that's absurd,
right? Dude, like at the time, like the Power 9 was worth like a Black Lotus in Alpha was only worth like $400 or $500, you know, and the rest of the Power 9 were like 100, 125 each. And then like I had some like foil cards from the Urza Saga that were like, you know, worth like 10, 12, $20.
Wow, the Urza Saga cards now are worth like a fucking
right?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude. I had my whole deck was all foil. And my brother's whole deck, which I still had we still had, was all foil. My buddy Buck's deck was all foil, and that was like our collection. You know what I mean? And we sold it in high school, probably like a year after we stopped playing, because we all stopped playing because we loved Urza Saga, and it phased out of tournament play. And that's like we just kind of quit because we didn't like the creature-based gameplay. And now I like look at it, and I'm like, it's crazy what like common lands from Urza Saga go for. Like it's insane, you know what I mean? Like it's really, really, really wild. And so it's like the biggest regret of my life. Like I could have bought a house with what we had, you know, just to probably the Power 9 alone.
Yeah,
you know,
that's crazy. I played like a few hands of Magic, but I never got into it. But I know so many people got into it, and like it's mad popular still, which is crazy.
With Arena, it's just like boomed more too.
Yeah, it's crazy how much those cards go for, and like you guys said, that they hold their value.
Yeah, and
just every now and then when I hear about what's going on in the Magic world, I'm like, that's so crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Wild.
It's kind of like Bitcoin. Fun fact: the first like major exchange was called Mount Gox, which stand for Magic the Gathering Exchange. It used to be Magic the Gathering exchange site for cards, and the guy's like, oh, fuck this, I'm turning it into a Bitcoin exchange site.
Not a bad call.
No, except he got in trouble for like embezzling and lost like 60,000 Bitcoin.
I think I remember that.
Yeah. All right, I think that's it.
All right, yeah. Now the books have been sealed in the books.
That's a little bonus for everyone that like a lot of people zone out at the end. They're like, oh, the book's done.
Yeah, and I'll say this real quick for any of you who didn't zone out and are here to the very end. Thank you for listening. Consider checking us out on Twitter. We post all the episodes on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube or Twitch, we also post them on podcast applications. Just search Warp World Podcast anywhere. You'll find us. We're also on Twitch under Warp World Staff. And consider contributing to our Patreon if you enjoy the podcast to help keep the lights on over here and fund the editing for the podcast and all that jazz. So everybody, thank you so much for listening. This is episode 113 in the books.
Bye.
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 Next week at TwitchCon.
See you next week at TwitchCon.
Bye.